with the science, I also really love BJU's foreign language. So my 9th grader was doing Spanish 1, my 10th grader was doing Spanish 3 because she started this in the 8th grade. The foreign language of dinosaurs from a Christian worldview creationist standpoint, and I let him choose this elective course all on his own. He appealed to her because she's always been the younger one tagging along for older history, and so I felt kind of good about, I don't know, coming down a little bit so that it was really understandable and applicable for her. So that has been good. Now this teacher's guide right here has tons of links, tons of recipes, tons of projects. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel for another video. I am surrounded by a sea of homeschool curriculum because I am here to share my middle of the year, even though we're a little bit past the middle of our homeschool year, curriculum updates. So this is more for you guys who are shopping early for curriculum, who want to hear my thoughts on things that we have been using in our homeschool. This is not going to be a full review by any means. I will come back at the end of our school year and give my full thoughts and reviews on pieces of curriculum I feel like you guys really want to know a lot about, not every single thing. But this will be enough information where if you're just wondering, what does Ashley think about that new thing she was using or whatever, I feel like you'll be able to gather my review from this video. So we are going to be chatting all about curriculum. It's a little bit past the middle of our homeschool year. We are well into all of our curriculum. Coming down on the other side, you know, that first half is like up to lesson 60 for curriculums that are 120 lessons and up to day 90 for curriculums that are 180-day format. So we are on the down, we're coming down now to the finish line. So I wanted to sit down and chat with you guys. But before I get into that, I have a really exciting thing to share with you guys. So a lot of times I film my videos way ahead, and so nothing is like real time, if that makes sense. However, this video is real time. When you guys are seeing this sale of what I have all spread out next to me is live for 5 days only. I know a lot of you often buy the seasonal educational bundles through my link, and I cannot thank you guys enough for your support of that. It is one way that you guys can directly support my family, just so you know. So I really appreciate that because there's not very many things that I get on here and talk about or share with you guys that have a direct impact like this does. So if you've bought seasonal bundles before, you'll know the drill. But if you are new or this is the first video that you're seeing, and remember this is live time, so the sale runs from today, Monday, until Friday, and then it ends. The sale is never extended. So what this is a seasonal educational resource, and I've been using these in my homeschool for years now. There's one for fall, winter, spring, and summer. They are meant to you know, just be a fun additional thing that you can incorporate into your homeschools. The ways are endless. You can use them in morning basket. You can use them as a fun Friday activity. These are the ways that we use them. You can use them for just intentionality of the season to bring a focus on whatever it is. At Christmas, we did a ton of crafting and baking because there was an entire like cookie section, and we had so much fun doing that. So it just brings something fun and seasonal into your homeschool. The price for this volume that I'm about to show you is $25. And when you see how much you get, $25 is a steal of a deal, not to mention you're supporting a homeschool family directly, multiple homeschool families actually. And so, you know, $25 is such money well spent when it comes to this, because not only do you get a ton for your money, You also have the download for forever. So this is a direct download. You do have to print it off yourself. I print it right out on my Epson printer. That is in my schoolroom. No issues. It doesn't use all my ink by any means. And you only need to print what you want to use. So the way that it's structured is really, really nice because it has every section broken up from pre-K through kindergarten, or through maybe second grade. Yeah, and then like third grade and up. So either way, they're broken down, so you only need to print what you want to print. And like I said, it's just meant to bring fun, educational value into your homes for the season. No two bundles are the same, so volume 1 was different than volume 2, and now volume 3 is different than those. You can purchase previous years, so take a look at those themes as well, and you get an even bigger discount when you buy multiple. However, this one for spring volume 3 is Charlotte's Web themed. How cute is that? I love Charlotte's Web, but it's honestly been a really long time since we read that book in our homeschool. And so I'm excited to read that book with my younger 2 kids, especially again, and go through this on Fun Fridays through the spring. So that's the way that we're gonna be using it, will be our Fun Friday activity throughout the spring. And also, I'm getting ready to head out on a work trip. And my kids, I wanted them to still have some type of schoolwork to complete. So I actually printed off a bunch of math sheets because this bundle had a lot of really awesome review math sheets for my daughter in 5th grade. So I made her a little packet, so she'll be doing that while mom is traveling for work, and that'll be really great. So really quick, there's not enough time to show you guys. There's over like 250 pages in this, but obviously if the theme is Charlotte's Web, that is a huge component. So there is the Charlotte's Web student workbook, which is meant to be used with the Charlotte's Web 4-week unit study. So you could do this as a co-op, you could do this with just your kids, you could invite a few friends over. Obviously it lays it out for you guys if you want to do the unit study on Charlotte's Web, which encompasses many, many things. It has like all the days listed out. I don't follow those exactly, so I'll just kind of do my own thing with that, but there is a schedule if that's something that appeals to you. So it's a 4-week unit study. You get a student workbook with it that has so many wonderful things that go with each chapter, ranging from, like this sheet here on ways you can be a good friend, to vocabulary words, to idea starters and silly sentences, to designing a barn and writing about it, to pig terminology, just things that are really fun that you probably would not think of. Along with the Charlotte's Web unit study, you also get handwriting and coloring pages. My kids are a little bit past the handwriting pages, but what I love is that these can also be done as dictation exercises. So these are passages obviously taken from the books. So if your kids are a little bit beyond handwriting, which I mean, it never hurts to practice, but if you didn't want them to do that, then you could use this as dictation, where that is really working on their listening skills, their grammar, remembering punctuation, all of those things. And those are all correlated with the chapters as well. Along with that, which I thought this was really, really cool, are these bucket of word cards. So they have the chapter at the bottom and then they have the word at the top. And this is really going to help your kids understand vocabulary with words like bewilderment, wondrous, affection, mercy, veil, sensational, admiration, versatile, sociable, incessant, words that your kids probably do not know. So you can really, really help with vocabulary, all from doing the Charlotte's Web unit study. Now again, you can pick and choose what you do with that, so don't feel like you have to do it all, but it's precious, it is so sweet, it is so cute. So that's just one thing. Then you get a bunch of different units that all come with these cover sheets, so they're all pulled from Charlotte's Web. So we have spiders, we have pigs, We have geese. We have, let's see, rats. We have the book lists. So you also can get, you get a book list and they're all optional, but if you want to incorporate some more books into your morning basket and just do a whole Charlotte's Web theme for the spring, I think it is so fun and so sweet. And then, of course, I share these every year because these are my absolute favorite, are these seasonal bucket lists. So this one is already filled in and it has things that relate to the season to help you be intentional with your kids. I absolutely love anything that brings intentionality into my home, into my homeschool, into my kids' lives, and we really do try to check those things off. There's also a blank one for your kids to print out, and they're just so cute to display. We have a lot of fun trying to reach our spring bucket lists. Like some of the options are picking flowers for someone, blowing bubbles, a picnic lunch, flying a kite, finding a rainbow, celebrating National Donut Day, planting seeds, sitting in the sunshine, making a bird feeder. So just some intentional activities that you can do over the course of the next few months and then look back and feel like you really savored the season with your kids. So you guys, what I showed you as far as the units, like this is the geese unit. So I just printed off a few things. I mean, there's a lot in there. But they're all themed. So we have irregular plurals, we have telling time, we have dividing decimals, we have a writing and drawing. Like every section has different sheets that go with the theme. So you can really go all in on Charlotte's Web. That's what I'm telling you guys. And there's so much more that I just can't show you everything because I've already been talking for 11 minutes and I want to show you the curriculum too. So if you guys want to grab your spring bundle, the link will be down below. It's on sale for $25, this one specifically, which is 50% off through Friday only. It's never extended. And there's the past ones too, which it was like farm, there's bumblebees, I mean, look at it. There's a ton of different spring things. There was the prairie one. We had a lot of fun with that. We did some Dust Bowl activities. We've just loved these. So the link will be down below, and thank you guys in advance for supporting me and my family through the sale of these bundles. Like I said, I don't come on here very often and talk about things that you can purchase that directly support me. So I really, really appreciate you guys taking advantage of these seasonal things the 4 times a year that I offer them, and I really love them. I wouldn't share them with you guys if I didn't. So now I'm going to jump into our curriculum this year and share with you guys just a few thoughts on everything we've been using. It's a lot, so if you are wanting to hear something specific, I'm going to go subject by subject. So I'm going to do math for all my kids, history for all my kids, and we'll move through it like that. All right, so we are going to start with Bible time in my homeschool because that is what we start our day with every single day. So this year, besides using World Watch News, which I highly recommend, we have been utilizing several different Bible studies from Not Consumed Bible Studies. I just grabbed the Christmas one that we finished, but we've done 3 other ones, and we've loved them all. I highly recommend them, and we will be continuing using these Bible studies in our homeschool next year. I'll have a link down below for you guys for pretty much everything that I can, but we've really, really enjoyed these. Everybody gets their own. You do them one day at a time. They also have parent ones that you can do to join in with your kids. I've done some where I did, like this one was mine that I did, and it's actually, was my own Bible study, as you can see. And then I've done other ones where I haven't done the parent guide. I prefer to do the parent guide with my kids, so I would highly recommend Not Consumed. Along with that, we've been reading through this book called Wonderful Ancient Psalms Ever New. We did the Ology last year by the same author, and so this takes you through the entire book of Psalms. We are getting close to the end. We're pretty close to the end, and I've loved taking the time to read a psalm each day with my kids and discuss it. So that has been really wonderful as well. We also have been sporadically using the, I can't remember what they're called. I think I have, no, I don't have it back there. It's journables, I think, where you are just copying down scripture. My kids have been doing Proverbs, and we've been using that sporadically when appropriate, and we've also been memorizing scripture that goes along with our Bible studies in general. So that has been very fruitful. So that is kind of like everything we've been doing for Bible, and I'm very happy with it. I will continue on with the same type of format next year as well. So moving into history, which I know a lot of you guys have been wondering about. My older kids, I started off our homeschool year using something different than this Knotgrass World History course, and I had to immediately change it because it was just not going to work well. We started out using master books. For You They Signed. I would not recommend that course at all. We moved over to Knotgrass, and I feel like this is the best history for high school that is out there. So we are going to be sticking with this through high school all the way until the end. I love this. I love everything about it. I don't have any complaints about it. My kids love it. We did purchase the quiz book as well as the student question books. I would recommend those. I do think that every child, if you have multiple kids who are going to be doing a history course together, I do think there's benefit in everybody having their own textbook if they are older. But we have been so pleased. My kids love it. The lessons are manageable. 10 out of 10 for Knotgrass history. My younger kids this year, so I have my two olders doing Knotgrass, and then my younger two doing early American history from Beautiful Feet books. Like I said, I didn't know about this at the beginning of the year. If I would have known about this at the beginning of the year, I would have probably purchased a different Knotgrass course set for my younger two. So keep that in mind, but I didn't know about it, so I got this. My initial thought was that I really enjoy teaching my kids history through literature, and I do love that. I stand by it. I feel like that is one of the best ways for them to retain information. We had previously completed 4 years of The Good and the Beautiful's history, and so my kids already had a pretty strong base. Not to mention one of my kids in particular who is doing this course is history is his passion. He's read he asked my older kids if he could have this book when they were done with it because he just wants to read it. So he loves history. So with that being said, this course is a little bit too, I don't know what's easy, too basic. I don't know. It's not like anything really new. I mean, the stories in the books might be new to him, but he's already pretty well familiarized with all of this. I think it's really great for my 5th grader. So I will say that. I think that this was more of an appeal to her because she's always been the younger one tagging along for older history. And so I felt kind of good about, I don't know, coming down a little bit so that it was really understandable and applicable for her. So that has been good. Now this teacher's guide right here has tons of links, tons of recipes, tons of projects and crafts and things, and we just really haven't gotten into any of them. We've tried a few of them, and it's not really been our thing. We would rather do something else with that type of time. So, and they're not things that my kids could necessarily do on their own, and some of them are a little too elementary for them. So all I've really utilized out of here is the comprehension questions following the reading, and they have been keeping a history notebook where they've been doing some writing and some research on specific things, and so we've enjoyed that aspect. So to summarize this, I think this is a good course for younger kids. It says intermediate grades, which my son is in the 7th grade, and I just, he might be the exception, but I do feel like this is more geared toward elementary school. And I do think that they spend a lot of time, a lot of time, making sure that it's understood, the wrongdoings of the European settlers coming over to the natives, and just there's a lot on that, which can start to get like really repetitive. And my kids understand that. We conversate about it. It's not a topic I want to avoid, but I also am a firm believer in not holding the past historical people to the same standard culturally that we have today. And so, there's a lot of time spent on that, and I personally could have done with a little bit less of an emphasis on that. And so some things we did, we talked about, and then once I saw it was like again and again and again and again, we just kind of moved on from that. So I think it's great for the books. I think it's great for the history notebooks. Those have been fun. So I'm kind of in the middle on this course, and I think a lot of you are probably wondering, will I use Beautiful Feet again next year? The answer is no. I'm going to go with a Knotgrass course for all of my kids next year. Not all doing the same thing, but my older two and my younger two. So that's my thoughts on history. Moving on to the apologetics course that my older kids have been taking. This is Cultural Issues, Creation and Evolution in the Bible. This is an apologetics course. It's meant for 9th through 12th grade. And it comes with these 2 answers books, which are pretty thick. This is our second apologetics course we've used from Master Books. Last year we did Logic, and I highly recommend that prior to this. These courses by Master Books are fantastic. I've tried other things from Master Books. I've tried math from Master Books. I tried the Constitution or government type course from Master Books. And then my son also has been doing this dinosaurs elective course from Master Books. So I will say that Master Books, it excels in the apologetics, Christian worldview area. So that is what I like them for. I do not like their math. I do not like their science. I do not like pretty much anything else other than this. And this is amazing. I will say though, it's more than most adults know. So take it slow. The recommended schedule in here is just not doable for my house, but that doesn't mean that I'm like freaking out and throwing it out. We're just taking it slow because I want my kids to understand, and I want to conversate and make sure they know like what we're talking about, and they can draw their own sentences from what they're hearing. And so I have found with my 9th and my 10th grader, who are very well versed in this area, we still need to go slower because it's a lot. And some of these things are like mind-blowing topics, and I've been a Christian for 15 years. So, it's just take it slow with this, but I highly recommend everyone teach their kids apologetics from a very early age, and Master Books is the place to go for that. So 10 out of 10 on that. Just take it slow. The next little area that I wanted to briefly touch on have been these unit studies from Campfire curriculums. I have a few here. So this was the Christmas one we did. This is the one we're going to be doing for leading up to Resurrection Day. And then we did the Giving Thanks one at Thanksgiving. These are just fun little 20-minute things that I add into our morning basket. I discovered Campfire curriculums this year, and I've just loved it. My kids have loved it. It's just been a really fun way to, again, bring seasonal stuff into our homeschool in combination with the seasonal educational bundle bundles that I showed you guys the spring one of, but we had our fall bundle, and then we were doing campfire curriculums in the morning time, and I just love seasonal stuff. I decorate my house for every season. It just makes me happy, and my kids enjoy it too. So we've really loved adding these into our morning basket. We have not abandoned our other curriculums. It's just a fun addition. So 20, 25, 30 minutes, and it's been really, really fun. So I really recommend campfire curriculums. I have all my binders, and they make me happy. So I've really enjoyed those. Okay, so now moving into independent subjects. So every kid has their own grade level. For math, my older 3 kids are using Shoreman Mathematics, my older 2 in a different level than my 7th grader, of course. So their courses are all online, but all I can tell you is that Shoreman Mathematics is an answer to prayer. It is by far the best high school and middle school math program I believe to be available out there. It's fantastically done. The price point is amazing. The instruction is wonderful. It is biblical. It is incredible. My kids are excelling. No one is crying. 10 out of 10 for Shoreman Math. And then my youngest daughter is using Simply Good and Beautiful Math 5. We love this. We absolutely do love this math program. I love the little video lessons. I love that there's review in every section. I will say towards the end of this book, some of the lessons do get really long, but I have no problem breaking one lesson into 2 days. Again, the curriculum is there to serve you and not the other way around. So if your child is doing math for an hour and a half, you might consider breaking it up into 2 days. But we really haven't experienced that, only a few times. This course is very thorough, and next year she will be doing Math 6 from The Good and the Beautiful as well. I don't like to transition my kids onto a computer-based math program until pre-algebra, and that seems to be working out really well, and so that will be the path that I follow for her, but we've really loved Math 5. So that is math. Now moving on to language arts and that type of thing. So all of my kids are using language arts from The Good and the Beautiful. Obviously my high schoolers are using their high school. My son, who is in 7th grade, is using level 7, and my daughter, who is in the 5th grade, is using level 5. I only brought up one book. Actually, I did bring up a high school one too. We love The Good and the Beautiful language arts. It encompasses writing, grammar, spelling, art, geography, and it's amazing. I've used every level available from kindergarten all the way up to high school 2 now, and I just can't sing its praises enough. We love it. We don't use anything in addition to it, and I highly, highly, highly recommend The Good and the Beautiful language arts. For all of my kids, I always add a few like little independent things that they can do to kind of like warm up before they get into their school day. I've used Wordly-Wise in my homeschool since I started. It is a secular vocabulary program, and up until this year, my kids really had no complaints about it. They would read a story on like dinosaurs or something and kind of chuckle at it. But this year, my daughter, who is in the 10th grade, so Wordly-Wise book 10, really was kind of voicing a strong theme throughout that book that was just, again, kind of redundant and similar to the Good or the Beautiful Feet, like what I talked about. So I don't know, I've used these every year in my homeschool, and I really love them for increasing their vocabulary just as something that they can do like a supplement on their own. Next year I might just go ahead and skip over this. I'm not really sure, but we love Wordly-Wise up until book 10, but just be advised that there are things that you might want to discuss with your kids in there. My youngest 2 kids always do a handwriting book from The Good and the Beautiful. We love The Good and the Beautiful's handwriting. I've used a few other handwriting programs, and The Good and the Beautiful is my favorite. This year my kids have done level 5, 6, and 7. One of them has repeated them, and it's just because I want them to continue to practice. And so that kind of summarizes language arts section. you're probably catching on to a theme here that I don't have a lot of complaints. I really try to look for the good in what I use, and then once I find something that I really love, I stick with it because I'm not in the business of like fixing what's not broken, you know? So I don't try new things every year. So a lot of what we do in our homeschool, we've been doing for years, and I think that that just testifies to, you know, how much we like it. So if you were wanting like a juicy curriculum update where I sit here and just like ridicule a company, then this is obviously not the video for you. Now moving on to the last section here of electives and science courses. So starting with my younger two kids who are in the 5th and the 7th grade, we've done several units from The Good and the Beautiful for science. We've done the sexual reproduction and maturation unit, we've done the safety unit, we've done the paleontology unit, and we've done simple machines and motion. So we've already done 4 science units this year. Normally I do 1 unit per quarter, but we've moved through them really quickly. And so this year it's looking like we're probably gonna get into 5, potentially 6 science units. So that's fun. I brought up one to show you guys. This was safety. This was one that I actually had my older kids sit in on. So even though the lessons were, you know, for my younger kids, I did this in my morning basket because I did this course a while ago and I wanted to revisit some of the topics and go a little bit more in depth with my kids now that they're older and they're more aware of certain topics and things. And so we love their science units. I love the Good and the Beautiful science units. Been using them forever in my homeschool, and they keep revising them and they just keep getting better. A lot of you guys have asked me because of the revisions, do I prefer the older units over the newer? I think the newer ones are much easier to follow. I think they're better laid out. I think that it's the way that they wrote the lessons is a little more concise. And so I just want to encourage you guys that even if there's like less for you to personally read, that doesn't mean that there's necessarily less that your kids can draw from it. So that's my opinion. We love them. We do the lesson extensions for everything, even my 5th grader does. And we love their science units. My 9th grade son is using physical science from BJU. Hands down my favorite high school science. He does use the video option, and I use their science from 8th grade all the way up. My older daughter is biology this year. This has been her favorite course she has ever done in her entire homeschooling career. So she absolutely loves this biology course and just the topic and the dissections and everything. And I have to tell you guys that in the beginning of my homeschooling journey, I kind of wondered how I was going to be able to recreate, you know, lab science at home and make sure that she has those experiences, because again, I want to prepare my kids for anything that they might want to pursue in the future. And I am so thankful to BJU for their resources. I never used any of their stuff in the younger years. I waited until, like I said, my kids were going into the 8th grade. And so their higher level science is amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. And if you have a child that is going into 7th, 8th, whatever grades, stay tuned and make sure you're following, because I'm going to share their best sale of the year. I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to be buying my curriculum at that point because it is the best sale that they offer, and it's coming up in March. So just a little quick note there. Their science is amazing. Now for electives, along with the science, I also really love BJU's foreign language. So my 9th grader was doing Spanish 1, my 10th grader was doing Spanish 3 because she started this in the 8th grade. The foreign languages are incredible. They are amazing, very thorough, does a wonderful job. Love, 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 hands down, love. My youngest daughter finished up typing 3 from The Good and the Beautiful. We love their typing programs. Totally independent, very simple, quick lessons. I really recommend. And then my 7th grader really wanted to dig into the topic of dinosaurs from a Christian worldview, creationist standpoint, and I let him choose this elective course all on his own. He chose to do the paleontology dinosaurs course, mostly because he wanted all of these books that he had seen at the Ark Encounter when we went. So I will say that the worksheets are, it says grades 4th through 6th, and again, grades are loose here. He's a really young 7th grader, but he's very academically above that. So the worksheets in here are very basic. I would say more towards the 4th grade, 3rd grade level, but the books are amazing. So he's just kind of doing this for fun. It's not anything that we're like losing sleep over. These books are amazing if you've got a kiddo though that is interested in dinosaurs and you want them to understand what the Bible has to say about it so that they can dispel truth and untruth and discern there. So I really recommend these books and this course, but the worksheets are neither here nor there, but it's more about the information. So that is all of the curriculum we've been using this year. Those are my thoughts on things. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. I know I went through that super duper fast on purpose. So I'll be happy to chat with you guys in the comments. Keep in mind that I will do full reviews on certain things at the end of the year. Also, if you're not following on Instagram, I've been trying to do some reviews over there because I know that a lot of you guys want to know, how are things going. So feel free to leave a suggestion down below if there's something that you want me to really spend some time reviewing, if this quick little video wasn't quite enough. And don't make sure you do not forget to purchase your spring bundle down below. You will love it. Your kids will love it. It'll bring seasonal fun and intentionality into your home or your homeschool. You'll have it forever. If you've got younger kids, you can save it and use it year after year as they grow. Also, not just homeschoolers, can be used in a classroom too. If any of you guys do co-ops or any of you are teachers, I know that some of you guys also do things like that. So don't feel like it's just for the homeschool. And again, thank you so much for supporting my family directly through the purchase of your spring bundle. So yeah, that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Give me a thumbs up before you go, and I will see you again really soon. Bye, friends.